Today I'd like to take a look at the blacks slider in Adobe Lightroom and exactly what it does to your photographs. In order to do that, I've prepared this image here, and I think it does a great job of illustrating exactly what the power of the blacks slider is. Now, the blacks slider is very simple. The way that I like to explain it to my students is that the blacks are going to influence, that slider is going to influence the darkest thing in a photograph. Now, some images don't have anything pure black in them. Some images do. Some images just have dark grays. There's a wide variety of things you'll have in a photograph. But whatever the darkest thing that there is in a given photograph, that's what the blacks slider is going to control. It controls the darkest information in the photo. So for example, on this photo, if I bring this into the develop module, the black slider is going to influence the left-hand side of the histogram. And we can see here that left-hand side of the histogram and of the photo itself is getting darker if we go to the left, and it's getting brighter if we go to the right. So in essence, the blacks slider is determining how dark do you want the darkest information in the photo to be. If you want the darkest stuff to go darker, reduce the blacks. If you want the darkest stuff to get brighter, increase the blacks. Now, let's look at an actual photographic example. Here's an image here that I took, and we can see this image, I think it's properly exposed. It has a lot going for it, but there's nothing really dark in the image, and I kind of want there to be something. It looks very flat. It almost looks like I'm shooting through mist or fog or smog or whatever you want to call it. There's nothing dark in the photograph. And if we look in the histogram in the upper right-hand corner, we can see the same thing. The darkest thing is like a dark gray. It's not black. And so what I can do is take the blacks slider down and watch what happens as I reduce this. All that nice, deep, dark information comes back into the photograph. And now we have contrast, we have depth. Let's look at a comparison. I'm going to hit the letter Y on the keyboard, and we can see here a clear difference between the image on the left with no blacks adjustment and the image on the right with a little bit of a reduction in blacks. It's taken the darkest information, in this case a kind of a dark gray, and it's made it darker. Also notice that the sky has not changed. It's remained the same because that is a highlight and the blacks slider does not influence that. So to summarize, the blacks slider is going to take the darkest information in the photograph and either make it darker if you reduce it or brighter if you increase it. And it's a great tool to add some really nice contrast to all of your photographs.